to Mojo Whiskey Bar. Jamie and John coming at you. So, what's new?
Not a lot is new. The garden's done. So
I mean,
it's over 12 degrees outside.
Yeah, I know.
It's so the garden's done. So getting ready for fall, getting ready for bonfires. And seems like the rest of the year is full of birthdays and holidays. So.
This is a busy time of year for us too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. But hopefully there is an opportunity to get a bonfire or two in there.
Absolutely.
Speaking of farm, you grew something that we're going to be toying around with here soon. So stay tuned on that intrigue frame, I guess. While I'm thinking about it, like, share, subscribe on YouTube would really help us out a whole bunch. We've got a member drive. We're trying to get subscribers up to 100 on our YouTube channel. So it'd be a big help if you would take that few seconds and click that subscribe button on YouTube. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. So all of those links to all of those places will be shared in the show notes, but be a huge help because we got a lot of cool things I think we're planning. We've been talking about bringing out some merch. We got a really cool logo, and other things. So
merch,
to be determined.
We'll have guests. We'll have all kinds of stuff. We'll go on some field trips.
Yeah.
So we'll take you with us.
Absolutely. So. All right, so you notice I'm branded up today. I got the Pursuit Spirits hat on. We've got 2 Pursuit bottles, and I think these guys have a podcast. I'm pretty sure I've listened to a few episodes. I don't remember what it's called, Pursuit Bourbon or Pursuit Spirits. I'm sure wherever you listen to podcasts, if you look at Pursuit Spirits, you'll find it. Really interesting, and the reason I wanted to bring these out today is. We just confirmed back in April, Amanda and I went down to Louisville and, did the whole a lot of the whiskey roast stuff. But Pursuit stuck out to me because they had an experience, and I don't remember what it's called, and I don't remember what it cost, but in my mind, it was totally worth it. I think it was like $150 or so. Don't hold me to that. Yeah. But as part of the experience, you got to go into their warehouse. Okay. And I think this is true. I don't think they make their own stuff. They're kind of a blender. So they're getting, the juice from a lot of different places. But they had, I think, 6 barrels that we could taste from. And they told you all the nomenclature and all this sort of thing. But after you taste them, then you got to get the Whiskey Thief. Yeah. And you got to fill your own bottle. Okay. And then you got to label it and cork it and all that sort of thing. So, I think we've established it's okay if you're a whiskey nerd.
Well, I guess.
It's okay. But for me, like when I go to I've done the distillery tours, and that's fine. It's cool. It's enjoyable. But I'm looking for more of the experience and to be able to kind of pick your own bottle. Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick the whole barrel, but is the next best thing I think.
Yeah. I think it is. So you filled and labeled.
Yeah, it's even my handwriting on there. Okay. So this is the first one we're going to look at is the Pursuit United Blended Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And I don't know if it even says proof on here. It should, but I don't see it. I'll have to, I guess, look up what that is. But that is, now I read my handwriting. It's like, oh my goodness. We bottled this in April 24. It's barrel 12CD-D-004, I think.
Looks like,
close enough anyway. So, and again, if I can find the specifics, I'll let you know what that is. But this is a blend that they've, kind of their own proprietary blend that they've put together. And of the 6 barrels that we tasted, these were the 2 that Amanda and I enjoyed the most. Now, not a huge bourbon fan, so I guess it might be safe to say something that I enjoyed the most.
It has a real sweet on the nose.
It does. But at the same time, there are
baking spices.
There's some baking spices.
It kind of reminds you, I don't know if you had a grandparent growing up that would put a pie or had been baking in and they had the windows open.
Sure.
And it kind of would blow through the house. You know, you get a little bit of that.
But it's almost like it is fall. And it was almost like more of a pumpkin pie, right? Yeah. Or maybe I was gonna say pecan, but I don't really get a lot of nuttiness.
No, pumpkin spice.
Yeah. My mom used to make this little bundt cake, like a pumpkin cake.
Mm-hmm.
With some like a sugar icing of some sort drizzled on it. Yeah, you get a little bit of that.
You do. I mean,
it does have a fall smell to it, and it smells like it's going to be hot.
It does.
I don't know this to be true, but it is a single barrel, so it's going to be barrel proof. So this is not going to be watered down.
No,
I thieved this out of the barrel myself and filled that bottle myself, which that's the fun of it.
How long did that take?
Not long.
Okay.
I mean, I think the whole experience was supposed to be maybe a couple hours or so, but you can go at your own pace. They kind of describe each of the different barrels. You keep notes and whatnot, and then once you're ready to make your pick, the whiskey thief is this tube about like this. I think it's copper. You put your thumb over it, or you stick it in the barrel. You wait for a few seconds. You put your thumb over it. You pull it out and you fill that bottle, and 4 or 5 times, and you got a full bottle. So it was really, really quick. But anyway. All right, so fall. We got fall on a glass right here in a bourbon. Now, I haven't had this since that day.
Yeah, right out of the gate, there's heat. It's heat right there.
Well, it is single barrel. It's cast strength.
And I'll be honest with you, the pumpkin spice is actually stronger a little bit on the taste, on the tongue.
Yeah, this would be fantastic with some pumpkin pie.
It really would. Pie. I mean, this is, I've not had a bourbon that had that much pumpkin spice to it.
Yeah.
That was that deep in it.
I mean, it's got the classic cloves, the pumpkin pie spice. It's almost like you can taste the crust a little bit.
That's too. You can. You can actually bring the crust out in this.
It's almost like liquefied pumpkin pie.
Yeah. You can think about going and getting some Cool Whip upstairs or something. This is really.
I don't think we have any.
Well, that's disappointing. But I am very pleasantly surprised that the nose and the palate were on the same page here.
100%.
Because a lot of times when you do get that strong baking pumpkin spice on the nose, it rarely carries over.
That is true.
And this has really carried over. This is one of the better ones I've had in a while.
It's pretty good.
This is pretty good.
It's pretty good. And, obviously being a single barrel, every one's going to be different. Now, I've heard, I don't know this, that Pursuit Spirits, I've heard a lot of people rave they have a double oak bourbon. And I don't know how readily available their products are. I don't think I've ever seen their products in stores that I go to.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you can't get them there. But a lot of people have been raving the videos that I watch about their double oak. So I felt like if I would have tried that there, I would have said yes. But, so part of the experience is going to be dependent on what barrels they have out. But if you're in Louisville and you want kind of that experience of getting your own barrel, it was really phenomenal.
Are they right there in Whiskey Row?
No.
Right. Okay.
They're a little bit off the beaten path, but and it's kind of in an unassuming facility. You don't even know that you're in a whiskey place.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an old warehouse. And you're like, am I in the right spot? And then you go in, and you're like, yep, there you are. So it's a little off the beaten path, but you plug it into, your GPS or whatever, it'll take you right there. So.
And, I know you talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but if you haven't made that trip to Louisville and gone to Whiskey Row, you can walk up and down there.
Yeah, you'll be satisfied.
You'll find several distilleries within, if not right there on the main beaten path, 1 block over either direction.
Yeah, and
you could go to a Louisville Bats game.
We did that before. Actually, when we went on this trip, we did the Louisville Bats
game. And there's
games.
great restaurants down there.
There is.
I mean, so it's a great trip, especially if you live in the ballpark of where John and I do, and you're an hour and a half from there. It's a great.
Plus, if you make your home on somewhere near Whiskey Row, you don't have to drive at all.
No. Oh gosh.
Everything's in walking distance.
Mhm.
Now you might put in a couple miles, but truth be told, I can get more exercise than I do anyway. So going to Louisville is an excuse for me to get exercise and try more bourbon.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into the rye. And again, this is their, it just says, sorry, I got a bug flying around. Pursuit United blended straight rye whiskey. And on this one, it says, oh my goodness, I should have. Kids, take time and have good penmanship and be sure you write legibly, because I write this is in my own handwriting and I can't read it very well. I think it says 1 CE-A-0. Like, I'm asking you to read my own handwriting.
Yeah,
that's not going to
that's going to be my guess. Yeah.
So anyway, this is their rye blend. And again, single barrel, cask strength, same thing. We thieved it ourselves and filled the bottle.
This has a little bit of sweetness as well.
That's so similar, though. Like, it's hard for me to distinguish between the two. It's weird.
It's very interesting. A lot of the same notes are there.
Yeah.
Maybe the baking spice or the pumpkin spice is not quite as prevalent.
I would agree. It's like almost like muted a little bit. Softer for sure.
It's softer, yeah.
There's almost a sweetness more so in this one.
It's a sweet,
which I would not expect with the rye. I would almost expect, as we described, the nose on each of these to be reversed.
This is odd. I know it's odd. But the sweetness to me is more of like an apple pie when it comes out of the oven.
I can get that, like a baked apple.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like whatever you use to make apple pies with. I don't have a ton of experience in it.
I'm guessing there's some brown sugar.
I'm a good eater of them, not a great
There's
baker.
probably some brown sugar. There's probably some of the same baking spices. Yeah. You're probably going to use a little bit of nutmeg, probably some cinnamon, but definitely some brown sugar. And then I get that. The sweetness I can buy that.
It's unbelievable. I mean, really, for what this is.
All right, I'm going to go in and take a sip here. That's good. I get the apple. Damn it, Jimmy.
It's there. Here's what's interesting to me. This was hotter on the tongue first before this was, which is odd when you're comparing a bourbon to a rye. Even at the same strength and type.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I'm guessing they're both comparable since they're both.
I would assume they are.
Pulled out of single barrels. They're probably 120-ish. I don't know. I'm guessing there. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. But the apple is so there. It's like an apple. It's like you got the apple Jolly Rancher, and what was the cinnamon one called? Like a fire. You remember they had those little fire stick Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah.
It's like if you mix those together, and then you put a caramel in your mouth, and just
really. I mean, he's correct. There is so many different tastes in this rye.
It's so good
that you can pull so many different notes out. It is absolutely outstanding.
It's really good. And again, it's funny, like we got both these bottles back in April. And it's now October as we're recording this. Yeah. So that's 6 months ago, almost to the day. I don't remember the flavor being like. I remember them both being good, but I don't remember either of them those being notes. The way we described it. The apple is really strong in that.
It really is, which is the first rye I've had where I could actually say that. I've never said that about it.
I don't know that I've said that about any bourbon or whiskey, but this is really, really good.
It's really good. I've never had that flavor notes in a rye. I'm not sure about a bourbon, to be honest with you, but rye, I know I have not.
So
that is really good.
I mean, no, we have no sponsors as of this moment in time. If you want to sponsor us, we're open to conversation for sure. And Pursuit Spirits, I'm just saying this out of for me and my own experience. Go there, have the experience. If you're a whiskey nerd, then you should go there, do all the tasting of the 6 different barrels, thieve and bottle your own bottles. it was a lot of fun. And, the environment, it was just a big open warehouse. It wasn't anything fantastic about it. It was pretty low key as far as that's concerned. But just to be that, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting my own barrel.
Yeah.
That's
a cool experience. Yeah.
So go do that. And I'll put a link to Pursuit Spirits in the show notes as well. But any other thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Really pleased with both of these.
This rye is phenomenal.
From an apple notes in a rye to the pumpkin spice
in
the
they're
bourbon.
Both good. They're both fall.
Both fall. I think you said it. It's fall in a glass. I mean, you could, if you enjoy sitting outside around a fire, you could not go wrong with either one of these.
Yeah, but I don't know the proof, but they're probably both north of 120. So just keep that in mind. As the night wears on, you might be dancing by the fire with.
I do that after just for fun,
Just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun of it.
You start your night off dancing around the fire.
I go all in right away.
Well, that's probably a good way to go too. But anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you're a bourbon and a rye whiskey fan, I'm sure you know someone that is. So tell them about Mojo Whiskey Bar. Again, we're on a drive to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. We've got some really cool things planned coming out here soon. And we're going to keep bringing you whiskey that you may or may not have heard of, and sharing our thoughts and impressions on that. So any other parting thoughts?
No, I don't today.
Okay. Thank you all. Talk to you all soon.